Hello, everyone. Welcome to Plant Group 12, the lecture for HOR 160 Plant Materials 1 spring semester at Forsyth Tech Community College. We got a good group of plants here. Number one is that they're all right outside of horticulture. You don't really have to go anywhere but to the back parking lot to where our horticulture program is, and we've got some tulips inside the cage, and then we've got some tulips over there by the water feature, which is directly to the right. So hopefully you've already looked at the plant, or you're getting ready to look at the Plant Group 12 location video. It's in that segment over there where there's some picnic tables. There's the water feature or water fountain in the curve as you pull up to the backside of Strickland Center, right where horticulture is. So I know in the plant location video, I said that we would probably have pictures for our samples and our sample lecture and our plant sample sheet, but I did go and collect samples. So we've got some good pictures of the plants for your quiz. We did the plant sample lecture, and we did the plant group sheet. So pay close attention to those and enjoy it. It's a beautiful time of year. When I collected samples today, it was absolutely gorgeous. And the day I did the plant group location video, it was even prettier that day. So, but let's go ahead and get started with plant group 12. And plant number one is your Tulipa hybrids, your tulips. And there's numerous tulips out there. I just want you to be familiar with the tulip species or the tulip hybrids, the ones that we're going to see, mainly on campus and throughout the highway plantings. You'll see a lot of tulips that the state or the city has planted, like in the islands or the traffic ramps, on and off ramps on major highways. Will have a lot of tulips and stuff, but a very awesome color. Right before we plant our summer annuals, the tulips will come up, and then when you go back with your summer annuals, and you've got that color, 24/7, 365 days a year. So your tulips are happening right after the flowering cabbage is starting to expel itself, after the pansies are starting to look a little weak. You've got tulips coming on before we go back with our summer annuals. So good picture here of a pink one. Here we've got a yellow one. Probably my favorite. I just love the yellow colored flowers. Here we got a red one with a little bit of yellow in it, and then one opening up there, mixture of colors. So very, very pretty. And then here's the ones right outside of horticulture. This is where I took the sample from. This is, what your quiz is going to look like, but a nice bed done by our students. Close up of the one there right outside of the horticulture area, and then a good zoom in on top. So these last three slides were plants or tulips that were planted by students. Next is your Heuchera species. This is the one that you see in your plant sample sheet. It's called Corabelles or Heuchera, a mixture of colors with these plants. I love the burgundy leaf or purple leaf ones that you see here. And then here we've got a mixture of the two, green leaf with the red flowers, and then you got the purple ones with the purple flowers. Just a great combination for these Corabelles. Now, a lot of people, when you hear the word Corabelles, you're thinking of azaleas. And that's true because there is Corabelle azaleas. They fall into the same categories, your Delaware Valley Whites and your Hershey Reds. Probably three of the most popular azaleas that you're going to see in people's landscapes. So just make sure when you hear Corabelles, are they talking about azaleas or are they talking about Heuchera? And look at this, that burgundy leaf with a little bit of green or grayish tint to the leaf, and then these red flowers mixed in with a group of hostas behind it. Absolutely gorgeous here. And then I love this right here. Just a mixture of Heuchera planted underneath a tree, used as a ground cover. Absolutely gorgeous. And then here's all like a mixture or like a painting of all the colors that you can get with Huchera. Very, very pretty. Then there you got that burgundy color, with the golden colors, kind of like the Minnesota Golden Gophers or Iowa State. I start always comparing the color of these flowers and leaves to collegiate teams. So that's a selling point. If you've got a client that's a big Redskin fan or something like this, or not, well, I can't say that anymore, but the Washington football team, you've got these colors, the golden color and the burgundy, just like Minnesota Golden Gophers, Iowa State, trying to think else who's Florida State. So, you got a customer that's, an alumni of one of these teams. You've got an array of colors that you can design with them for. Next plant is your rosemary, and that's a good close up of the needle and the flower. Real pretty flower, real pretty plant. And I think the ones that we've got over there on campus are absolutely gorgeous, even more so than these right here. But it makes a nice border plant. I like it that it kind of scoots over the sidewalk and breaks up those hard, crisp edges. Same here, it's kind of flowing over the brick edging. And then we got it here in a rock garden. But I love the rosemary. Good close up of the needles. Ibera sempervirens, your evergreen candy tuft. Looks like little cotton balls or little Q-tips almost, the end of a Q-tip, just a little white flower used as a ground cover. There we see it in a pot, but what they're actually going to do is they're going to take that pot and actually plant it in the landscape. But does really well, does well where you've got a lot of shade and, people want a ground cover. You necessarily can't get, grass to grow there. You can always have your evergreen candy tuft. Here you have a light purple tinge to the flowers, which is absolutely gorgeous. Close up of the foliage. More uses in the landscape. Now here, more of a shrub form of your evergreen candy tuft. Again, close up of the leaf, close up of the flower, and I like the ones that actually do creep, like a creeping style, where it can actually overflow like this rock wall. Absolutely gorgeous. Then we have sedum. Sedum used a lot in green roofs. I was part of Army Reserve units in Tennessee, and our reserve center was brand new. And actually, the U.S. Army, built the building and then sold it to the National Guard, and then we rented it back from the National Guard. So it's crazy how the Army does it. But we had a green roof, and we got to go up there and talk about it because my crew, my fellow soldiers knew that I was a soldier. They're like, let's go up there and look at the green roof. And we thought it was super cool. But there's a ton of sedum planted on that roof. With the sedum, it actually helps cool the building in the summertime and actually keep it warm in the wintertime. And actually, the building that we were in produced energy. We had a negative power bill every single month with the solar panels and the green roof and the geothermal heating system. The reserve center actually produced power that they actually sold back to the local power company. It wasn't Duke Energy. I forget what it was up there, but having a negative power bill is pretty awesome. Just more groupings of it. Now, there's a ton of sedum out there. We're using the sample that we have there in the little, what I call the rock the Rockwater Shade Garden or whatever, just to the right of horticulture. It almost looks like, you know, coral reef colors. It looks like you would see something like this underneath the ocean with the beautiful colors that it actually has. Good deep burgundy color there. There, just a matting of it. And see, you could see why this would actually work so well for a green roof. And a close up of it, actually producing a little bit of a flower there. Next is our daylilies, or Hemercalis species. Very popular color would be the bright yellow, and you see these a lot in highway plantings as well. Here we see a burgundy one. And this is the one that we actually see more so in the landscape around here. This is what's going to pop up with the sample that I showed you guys on our plant location video. These are the ones they plant around the college. Close up of the flowers and the vegetation, but just a beautiful plant all around. A lot of people actually, when the flowers are spent or whatever, and the vegetation starts dying back, people get rubber bands and fold them over and everything. We don't do that with our maintenance customers. We just kind of let them do their thing and then kind of clean them up in the spring. There's, some Clemson orange right there. And so it's good that we have all these different colors for it. And then there you can see one getting ready to open up. Hard to say what color, but there, you can see them coming back. As you can see, the dead foliage from the previous year, and then you've got the new sprouts coming up out of the ground. So very, very cool. All right. Now, you got your Tacreinum, Camadreas, or your Germandum, or Germandum. Sorry, I'm kind of messing that up. Just on your plant ID sheet, actually click on the link, and that'll take you to the NC State's plant database, and you'll actually hear a better pronunciation of the botanical name. But I actually like this plant. I do. It's very invasive, though, and it is a spreader. But it's got these cool looking pink and purple flowers, and the one to the right almost actually looks like verbena, creeping verbena that you would see in the landscape. But it's actually a pretty cool plant, and so I'm starting to like it a whole lot more. There we see it like in a garden, so looking pretty sharp. You can do it in the rows like that and actually keep it trimmed that way. Close up of the foliage. And then here's your phlox species. Like I said, there's different phlox or whatever. We're just going to use the one that we have there on campus. Here's a white blooming one. In our sample sheet, you actually see a purple and a pink one. But absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and this is, very similar to the one planted out in your plant location video. And that one is it. And then you got the pinks. Then you got the darker pinks. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, this is a grandmother's plant. You would have seen this growing up, at your grandparents' house. They would have had some of this planted somewhere, more than likely. And the purple. And that wraps up Plant Group 12. Guys, I appreciate it. And I will see you in the next lecture.